Zootopia 2 is in theaters now, and I've got to say, Disney had Zootopia and Tootopia right at their fingertips, and they didn't use either one of them. I mean, what are we even doing? Hello everybody, I'm Dan Murrell here with my review of Zootopia 2, which had preview screenings yesterday, aka pretty much a full day of screenings, but its official opening day is today. And I'll start by saying this, more than almost any other review that I've done, I'm well aware that this is very much a sharing my thoughts with you review. I doubt that anything I have to say about this movie is going to affect your decision to see it, especially if you're taking your kids. I don't see you looking down at Jimmy and saying, oh, you know what, I'm sorry, Jimmy, but Dan didn't rate Zootopia 2 a see it now, so sorry, we're not going to go. I get it, but as I always say, my job is not to make up your mind for you, it's just to tell you what I think and let you do what you will. So having said that, it's been almost 10 years since the first Zootopia became a billion-dollar hit, and Disney finally has a sequel hitting theaters, with original co-writer Jared Bush now taking on sole credited writing duties and co-directing alongside Byron Howard, who co-directed the original film. Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, voiced again by Jennifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman, are back and looking to make their mark as underdogs in the Zootopia Police Department, but their progress is halted when they get mixed up in the reappearance of a snake in Zootopia for the first time in decades. The snake's name is Gary DeSnake, voiced by Ke Huy Quan, and while the police assume that he's up to no good, naturally, there's more going on than meets the eye, and Judy and Nick set out to discover the truth. The voice cast for this movie is so massive, it might be easier to say who's not in it, but key voice roles for new characters go to David Strathairn as a local business magnate, Andy Samberg as his ne'er-do-well son, Fortune Feimster as a beaver conspiracy theorist, and Patrick Warburton as Mayor Winddancer, the new vain stallion mayor of Zootopia. Movie sequels, especially second films in a franchise, I think generally fall into two different buckets. You have more of the same or taking the franchise in a new direction. And Zootopia 2 falls squarely in the more of the same category. I mean, sure, in the first film, Nick and Judy learned how to work together, became accepted by the police, and exposed corruption. But do you think that they could do all of that again? More of the same isn't automatically bad, and the first Zootopia worked well, so it's obvious that the thinking at Disney was, well, hey, why mess with a good thing? The fresh rotten binary rating of Rotten Tomatoes currently has Zootopia, as of the time of filming this review, at 93% fresh, but with an average rating of 7.4 out of 10, which is a bit lower than that. I've got a plugin that lets me access that info since it was removed from the site. And that sounds about right. Zootopia 2, by design, by effect, or by both, seems constructed to be inoffensive, to not rock the boat. If the goal was to give audiences more of what they already like, then the movie succeeds very much. When it comes to movies, and kids' movies especially, my critical approach, if you want to call it that, is first and foremost to see, well, what is this movie trying to achieve? For example, a Minions movie is exactly the kind of movie that it wants to be. It's just that that particular kind of movie annoys the hell out of me. Zootopia 2's intentions aren't just to entertain the kids, like I think Minions movies are. It's to give the whole family something that they'll enjoy. Though kids are definitely the primary audience and are going to be entertained the most by the film, for any parents out there that have not yet seen this bit in the trailers, if you take your kids to see this movie, get ready to hear a lot of this around the house.
Hey bub.
Hey bub.
Hey bub.
Hey bub.
Hey bub. Hey.
Hey bub. Hey.
Bub 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 bub.
Bub 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 bub.
Hey bub.
Hey bub. Hey bub bub.
Hey bub. Bubby bub.
Hey bub. Hey bub. Hey ho.
Hey bub bub.
If you're a studio or a creative and you're going with the more of the same approach with the sequel, then I think that you have to give extra care and attention to the individual elements inside of that movie. If the plot's not going to surprise anybody, then you have to have jokes and characters and other things that work well. And the good news for Zootopia 2 is that it gets a lot of things right in that department. There are some clever jokes, including meta movie references and inside jokes that made me laugh. There's some top-notch pun work. Of course, you know I'm a fan of that if you've ever seen this channel. And the Nick and Judy relationship, while largely recycled from the first movie, is still an effective pairing. I think that's one reason why the first movie was so successful. Gary the Snake is a nice addition who adds some heart to the storyline, and the new characters mostly work. There's some good messages about friendship and working out your insecurities and accepting your differences. And if you really want to dig into the story, there's also a layer about how some societies are built on the literal foundations of indigenous cultures who were then shunned from that same society and erased from history, their contributions completely gone. I don't know if the 4-year-olds are going to pick up on that, but I can already hear the 3-hour video essays being written for YouTube right now. I suppose because it's Thanksgiving, then you really shouldn't be that surprised that you are getting served warmed up leftovers, but these leftovers are still pretty tasty. I enjoyed Zootopia 2, for example, more than last year's Moana 2, which I felt was a pale imitation of the original instead of a successful repetition. It's interesting that Jared Bush was involved with both Moana 2 and Zootopia 2, returning to those original films for long-awaited sequels, and it only reinforces my thoughts from last year that one of the reasons that Moana 2 failed was that it was a streaming series that was changed into a movie in the middle of production, because Zootopia 2, I think, works much better as a movie and also feels much more like a movie than Moana 2 did. So on my personal scale, I'm giving Zootopia 2 a rating of it's good. I liked the first one, and I liked this one, even if some of the novelty is gone. I think that the movie's lack of ambition, if you want to call it that, puts a bit of a ceiling on its success, but the floor also doesn't drop out from underneath it, and I also don't think that most kids are really going to be sitting there and analyzing what the structural evolution of the Zootopia franchise has been. The good news for parents is that if you are planning to take your kids to the movie or you're planning a family outing for Thanksgiving, this won't just be a tolerable experience. I think that this will be an enjoyable experience for everybody. And when we're talking about kids' movies, that's not always the case. So it's a recommendation for me on Zootopia 2. I think it is a perfectly good family movie for everybody to go see this holiday. So what do you think? Are you heading out to see Zootopia 2 this Thanksgiving holiday? Let me know down in the comments below, and stay tuned right here on the channel. I'm going to be rolling out reviews for other holiday releases as they come out, and I will also have reviews for the first batch of Stranger Things Season 5 episodes. That season premieres tonight, so you can look for my review on Thursday or possibly Friday, because I might take a break to, eat some turkey, but they will be here in the next couple days. Thanks so much for watching this review. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye.